William Jr. Maxwell II, better known as the rapper FETTY WAP, seems to have gotten himself into some serious trouble over the past couple of weeks. He and 5 others have been picked up by the FBI for their alleged involvement in a drug trafficking ring that could potentially land Fetty with life in prison. Be sure to watch until the end of the video to find out what people are saying about Fetty's current situation. FETTY WAP gets arrested. The stage was set for FETTY WAP to perform at the Rolling Loud Music Festival in Queens, New York. It was Thursday, October 28th of this year, and the day had finally come. Fans of the rapper were excited to see him perform again after keeping more of a low profile over the past 5 years. Many hoped that he would perform a few tracks from his second studio album, The Butterfly Effect, which had dropped only a week before. However, a lot of fans were left disappointed and confused when FETTY WAP never took the stage. A lot of people wondered what happened to him, and it wasn't until TMZ would report on that later that day that the world found out what happened. As it would turn out, FETTY WAP had been picked up by the FBI just a few hours before he was set to hit the stage. There wasn't much information at first. The only thing that they would say is that they had picked him up on federal drug charges. This was a shock to a lot of fans because, as we said, he had been keeping sort of a low profile for a while. So to see that what was supposed to be his big comeback was ruined because he was arrested on charges as serious as federal drug charges were upsetting to many. A lot of people rallied behind him, saying that he was most likely innocent, while others were more upset that they couldn't see him perform. Things began to look significantly worse for the man when the FBI released more information, including some legal documents that shed a bit more light as to what Fetty was getting in trouble for. And no longer did it look like he was going to get off easy, as some people initially thought.
Authorities say rapper FETTY WAP not only makes his money by entertaining, but by selling drugs too, and lots of it. Thursday night, FBI agents arrested the platinum artist, whose real name is William Jr. Maxwell II, at the Rolling Loud Music Festival here at Citi Field in Queens.
Drug charges. According to the feds and those charging Fetty, he and 5 other men were allegedly involved in a major drug smuggling and distribution operation that was taking place across Long Island and into New Jersey. They said that they were allegedly responsible for moving and selling over 100 kilograms of cocaine, crack, heroin, and fentanyl. And if that proves to be true, all of the people involved are in hot water. Those are not light charges. It's being said that the people involved somehow acquired used US Postal Service vehicles and somehow created stash compartments. And that was how they had been able to get the drugs from the West Coast to the East Coast and into the hands of Fetty and other distributors in that area. The district attorney in charge of the case has said that this is a multi-million-dollar drug ring, and Fetty is essentially a wholesale drug dealer. When making the arrest and throughout their investigation, the FBI is said to have obtained 16 kilograms of coke, 2 kilograms of heroin, a large number of fentanyl pills, along with multiple firearms, and over $1.5 million in cash. All of that.
One of 6 indicted for conspiracy to distribute more than 100 kilograms of controlled substances on Long Island and in New Jersey, and those arrested also include a New Jersey correction officer.
Plus the evidence that seems to be stacked against Fetty, it looks like he might be facing the possibility of life in prison if he's convicted. Fetty's lawyer, Navarro Gray, only had one statement regarding the accusations. He said, "We pray that this is all a big misunderstanding." He sees the judge today. We're hoping he gets released so we can clear things up expeditiously. So it seems like Fetty is maintaining his innocence in the case, which some say is smart depending on what evidence they have against him. But from where we're sitting, it looks like there is a lot stacked against him at the moment. FETTY WAP's bail gets set. Fans of the rapper's music were happy when they found out that the judge working Fetty's case decided that he would be eligible for bail. And though it's a high number, there is almost no doubt that the Trap Queen rapper can afford it, or know someone who can. Bail was set for Fetty at $500,000 and came with some conditions. Like a lot of cases where they view the defendant as a potential flight risk, Fetty is going to have to surrender his passport to the proper authorities, and if he wishes to do any traveling, he has to get it approved. The last one is mostly meant for if he plans on doing any tours while awaiting his trial. The documents say that he is also going to be required to wear a GPS monitoring device so that they know where he is at all times. This came as good news, but is also a bit of a surprise considering the charges he is facing.
Just want to say thank y'all, you know what I mean? Everybody supporting me. Let me standing by my side through this shit, like, you already know, like I said, man, never fooled, never been. Head up like a nosebleed, free all the real rights.
A lot of people didn't expect him to be getting bail at all, let alone the ability to potentially tour, should he so choose. Which would be smart of him considering the recent album release. Fetty was officially released from custody on November 5th, 2021, and fans are wondering when the next time they might see him is. His second studio album dropped a week before his arrest. As we mentioned before, Fetty had just dropped his second studio album, which came to us just over 6 years after his debut album, FETTY WAP, hit the charts. And to hear that he was arrested only a week after the album's release was a bummer to a lot of people who were expecting big things to come from the New Jersey rapper. But it looks like he's going to have a bit of time before possibly getting sent to prison for life. And fans are hoping that in time that he is going to perform as much as he can. The album contained a track list consisting of 17 tracks, including an intro and an outro, and it sounds just as you would expect it to. In his songs like They Know My Name or Got a Bag, you can hear that classic Fetty melody that just gets everyone around him wanting to move. If you haven't listened to it, definitely check the album out on YouTube when you can. This might be the last album FETTY WAP is able to drop. Final thoughts. From here, things don't look good for FETTY WAP, and that has a lot of fans who had been hoping for a big return upset. However, things aren't exactly over for Fetty. As we said, he was granted bail, so who knows what could happen. We're just going to have to wait and see. For now, be sure to subscribe to stay in tune with all of our hip-hop news and information. Be sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss our next upload. Until next time, stay safe out there.